My wife cheated on me and invited her AP to our kids' B-day, so I made them regret it. Hello, Eve been a lurker here for a little while trying to process infidelity in my life. Long story short, wife and I have been married 8 years, together few years longer total, and have 2 small kids. This year has been tough, and we have had our arguments, but nothing that I would ever think would push my wife to cheat. Anyways, I noticed her lately being distant and being uncommunicative and decided to confront one evening. At that time, she said that she was not happy and couldn't feel a spark anymore. At first, I freaked out on myself thinking I was being a non-attentive husband, truthfully an issue. However, the next day, I caught a very strange message on her phone that was extremely lovey-dovey. I took a look and then found my wife was messaging a man for a long time with lots of I love yous and plans for a future together. Fucking destroyed. Anyways, taking the advice of the many threads on here, I didn't confront initially. I actually read as much as I could, contacted a couple lawyers for advice, one now on retainer, and got my head on straight and calm. I confronted my wife a couple days ago, calmly, and asked if she was having an affair, and after a couple minutes, she admitted everything. Long story short, it's been going on for 6 months, and she claims it's the deepest emotional connection ever. Complete bullshit, but whatever. To end it all, I gave my list of boundaries, cut off contact, MC, etc. The thing that I think is the final nail of an honest attempt to reconcile is she got extremely aggravated with cutting off contact, especially when I told her to do it in front of me and even insisted to see him one last time for closure. I fucking held my ground and told her if he is so important back a bag and go live with him, to which she backed off, but not before she told me I was a controlling asshole. Anyways, she sent a text this morning and showed me, but my spidey senses seem to think she will try a different means of communication. I'm thinking there is no hope, and I honestly don't want it at this point, but I just wanted to be able to tell my kids in 20 years I at least tried. We have MC tomorrow, but I'm thinking it's time to file, before wasting any time or grief. I'm cautious to move too fast because of my kids, but is this the right way to do it? Hi everyone. I just wanted to quick give an update. The past few weeks simply put have sucked, but it's given me time for a lot of soul searching and thinking. As an update from the previous thread, the wife and I did attend some counseling after the initial confrontation, and I will say this particular counselor has been very good about listening to both of us and not assigning blame or anything like that, and helping to navigate our new reality. She has also helped to uncover some structural issues in our relationship, and while that doesn't at all excuse my wife's behavior, it's helpful at least knowing for a future relationship and not repeating the same mistakes. As also mentioned in the thread, my wife's initial reaction to my boundary to cut off contact with the AP appeared to go unheeded, and I did catch some small messages between them before she completely went dark with her chat log/phone. After seeing that, I decided to file, and she was served a few days ago, and in parallel, I decided to have a heart-to-heart with my FIL as we are super close and I needed to prioritize this support for our kids versus our relationship, as I could see my wife wanted to sweep this under a rug. Needless to say, my wife was initially extremely upset, her fantasy was blown up, but our therapist did talk it through with her from my point of view on why this needed to happen, and I think she is starting to realize the consequence of her actions and start to see there are real things that are going to be lost. From here on out, I'm just trying to process the new life ahead and the huge change in my identity from a husband/father to something else, same with her. I will say since I filed, my wife was immediately shocked when I dropped that on her, and she has been very emotional these past few days. I honestly think she thought I would never be able to walk away. I have kept her at arm's length, but I have seen a distinct change in her, and on a positive note, we have talked more, kept our conversation civil and focused on our shared priorities, children mostly. I've made it very clear to her that she left a huge wound on me, and that she has to do the heavy lifting to help repair and give me space and time if I can ever begin to forgive. I'll say it again and again, her actions are the most selfish, self-centered horrible thing you could do to a person, but I have not lost sight that we still need to raise our children, and that is my focus point as I navigate how I will move to the next phase of my personal happiness. I wanted to thank everyone for the previous comments and insight. I am honestly proud that I found the strength to not wallow in self-pity, anger, or sadness, and was able to make the right moves to retain my dignity and look forward to a bright future. I honestly don't know all the next moves, and my feelings are constantly in flux, but I am starting to feel some inner peace. Thank you all again. Update. Anyways, I am in the post-serving part and working closely with my counsel. What I'm looking for is if any BS here took advantage of the affair fog to get better divorce terms and how you pulled it off. My STBXW is clearly deep in the fog, still seeing/contacting AP, which at the moment I haven't bothered her since it's a good distraction. What did people get agreements on that were unexpected? Any advice is greatly appreciated on how to move through this phase, and also to keep her off balance is also helpful. Besides Grey Rock and 180, I have been going out much more unexpectedly and not divulging details of my activity. Update. Hi everyone. I posted a few threads about my ongoing saga, but the abridged version is wife cheated, I caught her, she gave me the I love you but not in love, and AP is the greatest emotional connection ever BS and has trickle-truthed, gaslit, everything to the script. I then proceeded to drop papers on her, and well, here we are a few weeks later. Long story short, now, in the post-serving phase and having to cohabitate for now since I want to spend as much time with my children as possible. I am now in a separate room too, so this has helped me begin to get that distance. I've implemented the Grey Rock with my STBXW, generally try not to be interested in any discussion, but have to fake it a little, especially with kids around. They are still small, but try to be upbeat as they can sense a lot. I'm also not making myself available in the evening, going out with friends, working out, whatever. Any other advice on how to best handle this situation? It's a delicate balance. I want as much bonding time with my kids and have sucked it up for family dinners and whatnot. Any other do's and don'ts? Update. I've made a few posts prior, and to those that don't know the story, it's simply wife cheated, greatest emotional attachment ever, love you but not in love, etc. I threw down papers and well, I'm just over 1.5 months after day and working like hell to move on. The purpose of this post is not for any update. All I can say is the process is ongoing and I will give the appropriate update at the right time, likely a while. My only request is for anyone that has gone through the process, please share any good advice, lessons learned, things you would have done differently or good things to know. The advice in the previous posts have been super helpful, and those that have reached out in other ways have been incredible, just reaching out in case there is more that can help. Update. I have 2 little ones less than 5 years old, so far they do not know what is happening and the STBX and I are acting amicable and doing activities with them, mostly separate but once in a while together, and trying to keep them on their normal routine. How did people break the news to them? Was there any short-term or longer-term issues that popped up because of divorce? What worked to keep them emotionally healthy? Despite my anger and frustration at the selfishness of my STBX, we have both acted in a way to not impact them, and so far, she has not abandoned or treated them badly by any means, but I do spend more time playing with them and I do see her spending more time on her phone than interacting with them. We also agreed no bad-mouthing or negative talk in front of them. So far, I will say it's going good. The only wild card is when we are separated and AP decides to enter the picture officially, but I will just deal with that when it comes. Any and all advice is great. Those 2 are my world, and Dad is eating SH1T sandwiches for them while trying to move on. Update. Anyways, going through the D process and likely to conclude in the next few months. The STBX is still likely seeing the AP but very discreetly. Prior to initiating the D, their messages were very much revolving about starting a new life together with this particular jackwagon throwing down marriage proposals, maybe joking, maybe not, at my STBX. Anyways, despite the delusion my STBX is operating in, I could see her moving AP in once we are officially inked and separated. The thought fills me with disgust as we do have 2 small children, but there are some things I won't be able to control. For those that have gone through this, how did anyone handle having to meet or even look at the AP? I honestly have next to nothing I want to say to this person ever, with the exception of telling them to keep away from kids. Likely I will never waste a single molecule of oxygen on him. I know this is not my circus, not my monkeys, and likely this relationship will implode, but still it causes mind movies thinking of the future. Update. The past few months have been frosty but relatively drama-free as the STBX and I separated our lives in the house but still did things for our children. The discovery and mediation process proceeded pretty quickly. We agreed on 50-50 for our kids along with schedules and holidays, and since it's a no-fault state, asset division was by the book with some give and take. I won't go into details too much at this time, maybe another post in the future, but I will be finding a place soon for a fresh start. The final conclusion is on the horizon, but for the most part, the D is complete. As for my advice from this whole fiasco, I learned a bunch of things. 1. Don't bother with a pick-me dance. I tried for a week before wising up to her cheating. My STBX is still in the fog, but it's her decision, she needs to live with it. 2. Do lawyer up with an experienced family law attorney who is reasonable. I can't say enough of the person who took care of me. Understanding that this is what I want versus reality was important in converging to the end. I don't have any crazy ridiculous fees as I did a lot of the prep and avoided hours and hours of back and forth, and this was able to be settled rather quickly. 3. Do lean on friends and family for support as much as possible. 4. Working out/exercise is key to keeping your mental health. I hit the weights a month after D-Day and am starting to reap the benefits, and that confidence has been helpful to get across the finish line. 5. Get into IC and talk with someone. This has helped me tremendously. 6. I realized this from all the posts I read, but the cheaters' decisions are all on them. I heard it all from my STBX. I was a roommate, I love you, /not in love, our marriage went so wrong, I worked too much, blah blah. Truth be told, now that I know the timeline, our marriage went wrong after she invited someone in her life that was feeding her lines to stroke her ego and give her extra attention, and she had to put up walls and make me the bad guy to justify this in her mind. Sure, she may have been stressed from kids/day-to-day life in a long-term marriage, but not communicating to her husband and confiding in a two-time divorcee/cheater with no moral compass is all on her and a recipe for disaster. The exciting final chapter of Captain Sacknuts/Fremont A. Cheese/5-year plan Sid AP is yet to be written, but poor choices carry consequences. That is all I will say on the matter. Again, thank you to everyone. I still have a lot of work ahead, but also many adventures in this new chapter of my life. I hope I can return the favor to anyone who needs it. Please reach out if anyone needs a helping hand. I am here. Update. As of today, the official decree went out and I am no longer married. I also picked up the keys to my new house and will start the process to move ASAP. I did choose to take a buyout as I felt it was best to start fresh in a place of my own to make new memories, and I really got lucky. I found a nicely kept up house barely a minute away from my current home, huge fenced-in backyard, wood fire pit, big garage and primo location. I also back up to a nature preserve, and as I'm an avid outdoorsman/biker, I have a gateway to my own little paradise. Some will ask, why so close? Well, I want to be close to my kids, because they need to know their dad is close by for when they need me. Thanks to the advice of this community, I kept my mind focused on what was important, started a workout program and also dove head first into a new career opportunity that recently paid itself huge dividends. I have not bothered with old or seeking out a new partner and will likely enjoy the single life for a while. I have my 2 little kids to focus on and fully plan on focusing on them and my personal growth for a while. As for my ex and AP, I honestly have started to let go of that disaster. Whatever happens will happen and it's no longer my concern, and as someone eloquently said before, when someone gets with somebody who cheated on their spouse, they are getting someone who cheated on their spouse. I did my best as a husband and father, and it's time for someone else to appreciate it. Thank you all for the messages, advice, well wishes, and so on. My life has depended on this so much these past months, when I didn't have very many close by to turn to. For those that are at the very beginning of this crap deal, please keep putting one foot in front of the other and surviving every day. I'm not an expert in life, but I'm also willing to lend an ear to those who need it. Good luck, y'all. Update: almost 6 months past divorce. Hi all, I'm almost to the 6-month mark past divorce and nearly to the year past day. It's been cathartic to post, but I know a lot of folks have followed my journey, commented, messaged, given hope, etc., and like many others, posted along the journey to give the unfortunate new folks here some ray of light that despite the darkness you have stepped in, there is another side. I hope I can continue to help in whatever small way I can to anyone in need. I greatly appreciated the support I got and in kind would always love to return the favor. On that note, 6 months past day and there is a lot of positive news. My house is furnished and a home, my kids are comfortable in the routine and love coming over and have made some neighborhood friends. I am beyond thankful that the little ones managed this process so well and they just understand there is dad time and mom time and no complaints or tears. Outside of them being here, I have immersed myself into a crap ton of home improvements. The house I moved into was occupied by an older, divorced gentleman and some stuff got left to the wayside, but I look at it as an opportunity to make it my own. Along with that, I furnished a home gym in my house with everything I need and can say I'm getting my workouts and boxing in 4x/week and getting my body back to where it needed to be. Through this whole ordeal, I also went through a major career change internally to where I work and somehow managed to not mess anything up, but instead have gotten kudos. I've kept my situation private, a raise and plenty of exposure to get my career trajectory moving up. Yes, I still struggle daily with mental health and focus, but I manage it with therapy and workouts and things are getting better. I think less and less of my ex each day and each small step is a relief. As for her, well, she is still in La La Land, but I can only say we co-parent decently well. I grey rock the heck out of her, let's be friends, but keep it strictly to kids, and it's been cordial. I'm sure anyone who has followed my story has wondered about the saga of OMB. All I can say is the world's greatest love story hasn't gone live, but my kids made me aware recently he has been around in a small capacity. I have to laugh a little as it's now 6 months past D-Day and they are still sneaking around, all great hallmarks of a long-lasting, trusting relationship guaranteed to stand the test of time. I've come to terms that whatever is going to happen will happen, and at this point, I am lucky to be away from a person that is willing to lie to their most trusted partner's face and not feel an ounce of remorse, and I have a solid chance at building an even better life than before. Good riddance and good luck. Anyways, that is all, and yet another big thanks to all those that follow and comment/message/send rays of hope. I will keep updating and supporting as always. Upcoming 1-year day anniversary. I'm coming up to 1 year past day. I noticed in the past couple weeks, like someone removed a battery or two. Life is going well, career is great, house is great, kids, etc., but I'm oddly just exhausted lately. I haven't taken a proper vacation in a long time and I'm just feeling like I'm running on E. I am just wondering if anyone else had some odd experiences around this time and what else you may have done to remedy it, besides the obvious. I know I have made some progress all around, but the scars will take a long time to heal. FYI, I have started to dip my toes into the dating world, and I'll just say I may have to start posting those adventures soon too. Kids' birthdays after divorce. Hi gents. I'm coming up on 1 year after divorcing and wanted to know some real-world advice. Backstory: ex did me dirty and cheated and I dropped the hammer on her. I got the divorce done super quick and due to some details I'll leave out, I had her buy me out of the house and I found a sweet place not far from my kids. Anyways, my ex had a habit of throwing these massively extravagant birthday parties every year, in my opinion, to post on SM how great she is. It never felt like it was for the kids. She is doing it again this year and is throwing out comments, pissed that I won't attend. I plan on throwing my kids a small party with family and some close friends, nothing crazy, but still fun. I honestly feel like she wants me there for a photo op to show on SMC, we are all good. Here is the dilemma: my daughter keeps asking me to come to the party, and I just keep saying, honey, we are going to do something fun. It tears me up inside because I love my daughter more than anything, but I don't want to step foot in our old home yet I don't want her to be sad. In addition, the ex-in-laws and her co-workers, who all knew about her affair since it occurred at work, will be there and frankly I know I'm going to go tell them to all suck a fat one. I also have a feeling good ol old man balls AP is going to be there. Lord help me, there isn't a golf club nearby. Give me the strength, gents. What do you guys do for your kids? AP is invited to my kid's birthday. I have something to get off my chest for those that remember my saga. I've been progressing well, and I have some big updates coming soon as I like to post up positive things in my journey to help those in their journey. But for now, I'm in need of advice. Background: my daughter's birthday is coming up this weekend. I already celebrated last weekend with my family and had a small thing, nothing crazy, and my daughter loved her presents and cake. Well, the ex was having her usual "look at how awesome I am" party this weekend. I did get an invite, but I just found out the other day that good OLOMB AP is confirmed going to be there. I called out my ex, saying this was a pretty crappy thing to do, but she didn't reply. Better yet, the ex's co-workers and family/friends who knew about the affair will be there, and the party is at my old house. Enemy territory. This is just horrid overall, as it's my daughter's party after us divorcing, and I can't help but feel it's a setup. This is lose/lose, and after talking with some other supportive members here, this feels like entering a pit of vipers. The only thing I can think of is going in dressed well, fresh haircut, and showing off my new physique. Hey, I've been doing the work, and staying a little while, but either way, I just don't like this. I feel this is super manipulative of the ex. She knows exactly how she is playing this and wants me to do something petty. Any advice is appreciated, laughing face. Update: AP is invited to my kid's birthday. Hey everyone, I wanted to thank the massive amount of support I got on my post from earlier this week. Since the beginning of this saga, this community has been my lifeboat and saver with advice to get me through all this. Thank you all, it truly means the world to me. As for the juicy update, well, this is a good one, smiley face. So, I initially told the ex that I'd be joining. What I didn't do was tell her I changed my mind. I waited until Saturday morning to pop by the house and drop off my daughter's card and present. Well, unbeknownst to me, the kids were dropped off at Grandma/Grandpa's house for the morning, and as I drove up into the driveway, in my sports car I may add, none other than OMB's turd wagon was on the side of the road. I strolled into the backyard quietly and with a smile and surprised both the ex and OMB as they were putting up decorations. The look of utter terror was on both their faces, and I sh1tu not. OMB didn't look me in the eyes once but was like, "Oh hey man. Ha 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 ha." Honestly, when I looked at both of them, I didn't feel anger, but just a sense of how sad you both are, good luck together. Is that growth? I kept my composure and just said I'm here to give daughter her present, but I won't be joining. The ex was shocked, and I swear in the nicest voice I have ever heard in my life, she darn near pleaded for me to join. I said, thanks but no thanks, I will go to your parents' place to give my daughter her gift, and parted ways. I did give a "hey see ya later bro" to OMB before strolling out head held high. Not more than 3 minutes later, I got a phone call from the ex again pleading to come to the party, but I held my ground and politely refused. A few minutes later, I dropped off the gift, went into the ex-in-laws for a few minutes and played with my kids and said my goodbyes, all very kindly and not mentioning the situation. As for me, I kept myself busy tending to my house. I got a good workout in, much needed after a break, and I went out on a date. Ultimately it was kind of a bust, but she was nice and at least it was a distraction. My daughter called me today and thanked me for my gift, but she didn't ask why I wasn't there, so like everyone said, she was so busy she didn't pay attention. So, there it is. I know if I would have went I would have set myself back a ton and for nothing. Instead, she told everyone I'd be there and with me a no-show and OMB there. I'm absolutely certain people put 2 and 2 together on why. Now, I can go about my weekend not feeling like I'm mentally exhausted and do some fun things. Thank you again everyone. Update 2. Hey everyone, this is going to be a short but rather humorous update to my previous posts. The outreach was incredible, thank you all for your advice, and I'm still smiling from the rope-a-dope I pulled last week. I've had a really good week since then. Anyways, here is your Friday humor. Some background: since after day, if those that have followed my saga may remember, my in-laws dropped me like a hot potato. I get it, blood water. However, I have had one member of the extended family reach out and we regularly hang out. He is truly a man of character. Well, I got a text on Saturday during the party, "Hey man, let's grab some beers this week, your presence is missed here." Fast forward to the other day, we meet, start consuming beers, and get down to business. He first starts of talking about the awkward skies, show the party was with people clearly looking at their feet at the situation. Apparently, OMB was not introduced to anyone, the ex was deliberately apart from him during the party and was mostly directing him on things to do, and the in-laws didn't bother to talk to him and sat with themselves looking pretty annoyed. He clearly was a fish out of water and actually went inside most of the time and avoided most everyone. It was also a quiet comment amongst some of the in-laws' aunt/uncle side of things that this is pretty classless. I swear, I'm heading toward indifference, but I just laughed my butt off. My absence was well understood and my earlier gift giving to my daughter was also known, so it seems like the family had full understanding of my absence. Mission accomplished. Anyways, that is my Friday humor. For those new to your own bad situation, I cannot stress enough of taking the high road, acting with dignity and class, and just moving toward living the best life. It's not always the most satisfactory course of action, but like weight training, the results take time but are worth it. Happy Friday, y'all! 1.5 years later, and update. Hi everyone. A year ago, I posted what was the end of my divorce experience and also prior to formally moving on to a new place and starting a new chapter of my life. Almost 18 months ago, my future crumbled before me when I inadvertently discovered texts on my wife's phone that uncovered an affair with an industry coworker, the one I have described many times as OMB. Heartbroken and not knowing where to turn, I posted for the first time ever for help and the rest is history. I have reached out many times since then and as always, this community is gold and has helped me through an extraordinarily difficult time. I in turn have tried to offer the advice I gleaned through my experience and I will continue to do so. I thought 1 year after the conclusion of one chapter into another, official divorce and moving out, I'd give one update as things have finally stabilized in this latest chapter. I will continue to offer advice, but I think I reached a point where I think I've learned and pulled what I can and time to further turn over that new leaf. I'll always post a juicy update when I can, but for now, I will mainly be here to help others through their journey. I have mentioned previously, I was an IC and I learned from her that life is full of seasons, and to have one full calendar of seasons to process the life change and divorce. After my 4 seasons, my therapist and I had a parting to our normal sessions, and I may pop in every 6 months or so. She basically said I had reached a great spot. So advice number 1, find someone good to talk to and do the hard work, smiley face. Romantic update, so, about 5 months ago, I decided it was time and fired up some apps just for fun. After a couple months of comedy, frustration, head shaking and some fun, well, I don't have that greatest love story ever just yet like OMB and the ex, laughing face. However, through the muck and wasted dates, I did meet someone and we both had a great time going out and being spontaneous the past 3 months. It was a great adventure and it really helped recover some of the confidence that was torpedoed by my ex. We had some personal and cultural bridges that couldn't be overcome and in the end, we both recently parted ways like adults. Seeing other good people out there and ending something the right way has really helped me not paint the world all in black, so I am thankful for that. I'm probably going to take an extended break and let the world work its magic on its own, but I needed to experience this and grow a little bit. No regrets. I don't have too much else to add, my kids are doing fantastic through it all. At least I can say the ex stays out of my business and we can communicate cordially about the kids. I've had some very lucky career and financial breaks this year and my sanctuary aka new house has come along beautifully. I'm sure you all want to know about OMB. Well, that hasn't imploded and unfortunately permeates more and more into all this with everything now Facebook official. My kids will every now and then mention him, which grinds my gears, but I just ignore it and ask them another question. I did get a "who is XXXX's uncle" on her FB profile, questions a lot, which is hilarious. Honestly, I've stopped giving it energy. 2 lying cheaters found each other. No great love story began by crushing another person. I pity two people that have to try to trust each other, knowing they can't trust each other. I'm truly surprised it's lasted this long, but I guess someone is looking for a third divorce. I wish I had more of a juicy update, but sometimes progress is boring, but I like it. I think my final hurdle is still getting over the loss of my family, aka in-laws. I went through this Christmas holiday without my usual traditions with them, and honestly it hurt. This was a time of year that I held dear. I started some new ones, but it's been a learning lesson, watching people that were supposed to be there for you show their true colors. Oh well. Alright folks, that is all for now. Thank you all for getting me through the past year and half. I am here for anyone that needs a kind word or advice. Cheers and Happy New Year, y'all.